Greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just wanted to do an episode today. Today's going to be the 140th episode. Multifamily entity investing, GPs, LLCs, LLPs, and trust. So we definitely wanted to do this episode today. Actually have the trade-in trustee with me, Cornell. Definitely going to be doing some commentary today and talking to you all on this particular episode. This is a pop-up episode, so thank you for tuning in live or listening to replay wherever you are in the world. Really appreciate that. You tuning in live or listening to replay. All the emails that we get from all over the world, people reaching out to us, we really do appreciate you all. Christian@trustchristian.com is the email. You can email Christian@trustchristian once again. So welcome to the vault.com is the website you can go to for previous episodes. But definitely want to thank you for tuning in live or listening to replay. So today we're going to do our best to talk about, a good topic. Episode 141, once again, multifamily entity investing, GPs, LLCs, LLPs, and trust. And so we got Cornell here with us. You there, Cornell?
I'm here with you.
All right, cool. Alrighty. This was an important episode because a lot of times, a lot of people contact the vault for investing and making it a point to operate with other people and entities and capacities. And this is a very broad subject, but we wanted to talk about some of the technicals and as well the mindset when you're investing with multifamily entity, such scenarios, and things of that nature. So, what are you a fan of multifamily entity investing, Cornell? Oh, I guess you're still on mute. Oh,
Oh, I had the multi-family investment. What you mean?
multi-family investing just scenarios where there's multiple families that are investing in one particular business, and in turn, it could be multiple entities involved. Once again, so that means that there is a partnership agreement between maybe your family's entity and another family's entity, and then there's one main entity that all of the families are having a general partnership or a limited partnership with, to receive profits, but to still provide services. Maybe particularly it could be in finance, because traditionally, most of these scenarios are where people are coming together, putting their money together in multiple family entities.
Yeah, I will. Everybody just got to be on the same page, willing to work. A lot of people don't want to work for their money, but to get in a certain spots, you got to work a little bit.
You know what's interesting to even start
After
out
you,
there? Let's talk about that people don't want to work part where uh that not the work part where people literally have said to us when they pass the $250,000 level that even say, "Oh man, I don't want to touch the money anymore. I don't want to have to do any work anymore." Could you talk about that mindset? Even when people say, "Oh, when I get to a certain level, I'm going to still touch money," but then their mindset changes and they say, "Oh, I want to take a back seat to having to work and I just want the money to make money." But it's not in a way in which they're still willing to get their hands dirty if necessary.
but you're gonna have to set yourself up to take that back seat. That's the problem a lot of people have. I tell you, the number one problem people have being successful in business is you take that approach too fast. You think because you got some money that you ain't got to work no more. That ain't how business works. And a lot of people miss the factor of just having a great idea and trying to expand to where that's why we say you got to get around the right environment. The most important thing in any business is business structure. How you operate, how you handle your expenses. That's the most important thing for you to be able to take a back seat. You just having money, you're not gonna be able to keep up with the business with money alone to take a back seat. So just because you had a quarter mil, that ain't enough money. And first of all, that ain't enough money. I can tell you that now, because the expenses gonna probably eat up the majority of that.
Hey,
And when you
hey,
understand that,
1 second. Now, remember the other day I bought you the deal with the guy that said the company was worth what, 1.6? I think it was 1.5, 1.6. Literally, ladies and gentlemen, $900,000 of that was so-called cost of goods of services. Now, you might not know what that term means, or if you do know what that term means, it's still an expense. That wasn't no profit. Now we got $900,000 that left the table. I think it was actually a 1.3, $1.5 million deal. So we got down to what?
it didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter because literally we
And
still
when
had to knock off another
and when the
six, nine
guy
hundred.
asked me about the deal, that's it. You see what I said? It ain't a good deal. This is the thing people understand. I learned this in business. It sounds great to say my business is producing a half a million or $1 million. But how much of that money is you seeing? So if you tell me you created $1.3 million and you spent out 900,000 on expenses and cost of goods, you mean to tell me out of $1 million you only saw $100,000
After
profit?
after additional
I don't
expenses.
want to be in that business.
No, no, those are right. Those are low
That
margin
wasn't a
business.
good deal. And I told the guy on the phone, no, that's not a good deal. And it is a younger guy, so like we try to tell it, it's all about this is the problem that most of us have as black people, to be honest. We get a little bit of money. We don't want to do the work. Not everybody's selling you on something. And you just rather and it's crazy. Most of you are willing to give your money to somebody you don't know or didn't do the research on just because you saw them online or something like that. Or it sounds good to you. That's what I mean by putting in work. I mean you gotta get your hands dirty, but guess what? You need to go do the research on who you're doing with. So guess what? When he did that deal, what we told him to get? Go get that P&L. Let me see that profit and loss statement. You want me to give you some money? I'm trying to figure out why you even want me in your business if you're over $1 million already, and you're gonna let me in for so cheap. See, it's certain things when you get around the right people, you ain't even gotta really be in the environment if you paying attention and you learning from these people that you're around to even let somebody entertain you or trick you out your money like that. And this gentleman, like, he's a younger guy, and he did a good job at saving his money. But you finna give somebody your money and finna jack your money up. So all that hard earned money you just did because you weren't willing to go out and find some on your own and start working for it and working on it, you're gonna lose it. And that's what happens to most people. And that's why most people go out of business.
Well, what about the investing multifamily entity aspect of it, where now, okay, we got into business with maybe a partner through recommendation, through knowing them. They got the business off the ground, and now we're about to invest, and then they actually have additional investors, such as friends or family, that are investing in the business with them. So now you see that they have additional capital coming in. Once that entity is created, the new multifamily entity for investing, what does that look like to you? The board. What does the mindset look like? What is the
The
mechanics of the
board has
week?
to the board oh yeah, the board had to sit down and that's something we learn. You see how we move, right? Everybody has their weaknesses and their strengths. So if you're gonna do the multi-family route, you got to understand just because you got some money don't mean you can go ahead and just automatically take a back seat. You ain't the president, you ain't made it. Cause guess what? This man weakness might be that he don't know how to operate a business. He just know how to grow a business. He got good ideas. Guess what? As a board, when you sit down with different families, guess what? You get different aspects of the business, and all y'all can work together. Because now you know each other's strengths and weaknesses. The business gonna work. But if you got the, like you said, the mentality, hey, Christian, man, I'm good. I got 200,000. I just gave them 100,000. Just sit back and wait on my money. It don't work like that. Now, you talking about getting a real business? You heard what he said? You got to have a board. Guess
Who?
what? That board has to meet. This is how a real business operates. They have a board. Those people meet. Those people look at the projections. Those people look at the problems. Those people look at, okay, what we need to be at, what we need to do. That's
Oh,
the board.
okay, okay. Hold on. Now I come from being an employee. This is not me, ladies and gentlemen. This is a scenario that we hear. I come from being an employee. I don't know about that
I
whole
come from
board
being an
situation.
employee,
Okay. So I guess that takes away my excuse there. So, but okay. I don't know what this situation is supposed to look like. How
but
hard am I supposed to
this is
work?
what we got to stop doing. Okay, all my employees on here, pay attention to the structure of the business that you're working for, and you can pretty much tell if your job gonna be around or not by the people that's over you. That's supposed to be the managers and the vice president and the president. Keep up with how they operate in the business, and you pretty much know what's going on with your job. So guess what? You're always talking about a P&L statement. You might want to find out what a P&L statement is. Don't be sitting there as an employee that you looking up and you got laid off and then realize the last 3 quarters they haven't made any money. That is public record. They have launched the IPO, public company. They had to share the information.
Yes, that's very
They
true.
have an official quarterly board meeting.
Yes, they do.
You can look at what your company is doing
Yes.
as an employee.
Mm-hmm.
So if you listening to us, we're not really talking to employees. So if you listen to us, that means to let me know you are interested in being an entrepreneur and a business person. So guess what? When you listen to these recordings, stop listening to them as an employee. Because guess what? Oh, y'all in safe mode. You think you comfortable because you got the job making the 75 to 100. Y'all better start keep. I say the same thing every time we get on here because I see this in real life. Those people right there, they lose everything. They back to square one. I just talked to somebody, lost their job, was making 100 grand because of the way their mindset is taught to think public. He hasn't found a job because he's looking for that same job. So that go back to how you willing to work right now. You got to understand what's going on in the economy. Y'all get happy when you see, oh, they said they create more jobs. Look at the companies creating the jobs. Walmart, McDonald's, Sam's. Did you hear any corporations come on there and say, hey, we add 1,000 executive jobs at the corporate office? You ain't heard that yet on TV.
No.
It's the regular companies, the minimum wage companies that's adding the jobs. Everything is being automated. People not even going to the store to shop anymore. Major chains is going out of business. Guess what? You an employee, you not paying no attention to that. Oh man, I work for my company been in the top 50, but you ain't looked at that profit and loss statement, see that your company been losing revenue to the internet, Amazon and people like that. Now boom, your store shut down because we are employees. So it's pretty much about taking control of your business. And even when you get money, you still got to be able to roll them sleeves up and say, hey, my partner or my board member needs help right here. Business people respect business people. You're not going to see eye to eye, but if you're moving with the right people, you're going to see that them people going to get more done than you will get done by yourself procrastinating or just, oh, I'm gonna just give my money to Christian. I'm gonna go buy my business when I'm Christian to bring my money. You can't get mad at Christian if it don't go right. You just too lazy to take care of your own money and your own family money. You should have went and sat down with Christian and figured out what Christian was struggling with. Because guess what? Everybody has strength. Everybody has weaknesses. That's something we learn with the way we move. So get what? These board members, I'm talking about, we know our strengths and weaknesses. Okay, I got to step in right here. And it ain't nobody getting mad because guess what? We got to take care of all our families. That's how we move. But people don't move like that when they do business ventures. I got a
Okay.
half a meal. Chris, I'm gonna give you 150. I'm gonna go about my business.
I guess
Nah, that ain't how it works.
we gotta talk about the ugly side because, like you say, what happens when you get into a venture now with a partner that is the multi-family and family entity investing, and you see, okay, wow, this partner does not manage it well, and you have to terminate things. What are your thoughts on that? A lot of time we hear a lot of backlash about terminating relationships, business relationships, moving on in relationships, in business and things of that nature.
But you gotta know how to operate with the people you're dealing with. That don't mean they a bad person or ain't gonna be a good person for the team. That just mean that is their weak point. Guess what? Somebody on that board don't have to be able to know, okay, I know how to operate business. Let me come in, throw this out here, so you ain't got to worry about that. Cause see that pressure, you probably can't deal with that operating pressure. So communication is big. That's what we talk about. When I talk about my part. Communication is big because it can create issues that you don't want there. Because a lot of people want to figure out stuff on their own, and you can't do it on your own. That's somebody to learn. So you always hear I talk about a team all the time because that's something I quickly realized. If you're gonna get some real money, trust me, you're gonna have a team in place. You can come on here and brag all day and say, "Hey, I got this, I got this, I got." That don't mean nothing. Trust me, you're not doing the type of business I'm doing. And if you got by yourself, that means you working by yourself all the time, and you probably ain't developing the right structure to be able to take a back seat because everybody has a team behind them. Whether you want to believe it or not, you know that
Yep.
all big businesses have a board or a team behind them. It's not an individual thing.
It's not a sole prop. It's
Nope,
not a single member
it's not.
LLC. If you all have a single member LLC, you've been sold on a single member LLC. You might not know what type of LLC you got, but if you're the sole owner, you're a single member. And this episode is catered towards multiple people inside of the LLC, so it's more than one member or owner of the LLC. Same thing with the LLP, same thing with the GPs. They're just called general partnerships or limited liability partnerships. This is where you see a lot of doctors, in limited liability partnerships. You see lawyers that share offices and things like that. And that's what I wanted you to talk about, Cornell. Like I say, was maybe even some of the negatives of multifamily entity investing. Even no, there was an episode we wanted to do called "Who Do You Trust?" or "Where Does Your Trust End?" And it ends to a degree with the management. And so, I would like for you to talk about.
It always ends with the management.
Okay.
I gotta tell people like, y'all follow these people. Look at how these people move. I'm not fascinated by Warren Buffett. I'm fascinated by the way Warren Buffett handles business. I'm fascinated by, like I said, these guys, the Dalios handle business. Stop looking at the fascination and look at what they doing behind the scenes. Like the real estate thing I'm going, what is it? I know about real estate, but I'm fascinated to know what this man doing behind the scenes as far as operation on anything. I even tell my fiance that when you go to these events, don't be fascinated by the people. Go see what they talking about operating wise, because the operation is the most critical thing of any business. And I just had a discussion with my business partner. We can come in here and say we got all the money in the world and keep taking money out of our pocket and putting it in the business and thinking, oh, we hope and pray. No, we ain't gonna hope and pray on nothing. Let's get in here. Let's look at the operation. Let's sit down, break down the expenses, see what we need to be doing right now. We know the business is gonna grow, but guess what? The most important thing that us growing is what? That operation of that business. And that's what we sit down as a board and do. So guess what? We get the resolution way quicker than me trying to do it on my own. Or thinking, well, shoot, Christian, I got 300,000, so I'm just gonna wait it out. That ain't no business plan. That ain't how businesses operate. That's why y'all get laid off. The business ain't gonna wait around and see like, oh, well, we might pick back up next quarter. I
Okay.
know y'all get laid off. They ain't waiting to pick back up next quarter. I just lost 1 million. Let's go look at the operating costs, the expenses. Oh, you know what? The quickest way to gain that money back, I'm gonna lay them off And guess what? If we pick back up, I just call them back. That's operating. That's why you gotta take control. Y'all don't understand that why y'all get laid off is because of that type of thing. And they running a business operation. Even I tell my friend that everybody ain't your friend in business. Like I had training. I own a franchise. I know it's a cutthroat business. Business ain't for everybody. You can't do business with all your friends. They got to have the same structure. Because guess what? It's gonna be some heated conversation, but a real business person gonna take the conversation as it's the conversation we having. I messed up or they messed up. We gonna fix it and keep on moving. Ain't
Okay.
no hard feeling. Get what we got to get this business running for the family.
Okay, so I'll share how it relates in the relationship of mentorship. In a relationship of it relating to mentorship, where we both on the line have been mentored. The hard conversations that we have in business with people that want to do business with us, or that we do business with, those are still similar to the style of hard conversations that our mentors gave us. It was the straight talk, it was the no cheap talk, it was put the money where your mouth is. All of the mentors always said put your money where your mouth is. And so we experienced that. The hard talk. The mentors would say, you're almost better off quitting if you're not going to put in the time. And you're sitting there stuck like, well, okay, I was going to study, but now I'm just going to study harder, you know. And so the mentors gave us that
And
hard
that's
talk.
why most people don't make it. That's it. And that's why, and I'll be honest with y'all on here. You gonna have people that's gonna comment like when he's talking about the UCC that day. We had people jump on there. Man, these people want y'all to follow fast all day. Guess what? We talk to you the same way I mentor talking. You wanna know how I got started with business? I'm talking about ideas. Like y'all probably sitting around, you got stuff you wanna do, you talking about ideas. You might be around the right environment. But I'm telling you, if you're around the right environment, them people gonna push you. So guess what? Like I told y'all, I was a worker, employee, talking about what I wanted to do, what I did, that, yada yada. Boom. Okay, he done heard me for a while. Now, this is where the conversation started. Look, I don't want to hear that today. If you ain't finna start what you been talking about, we ain't got nothing to talk about. No more. You just go to work every day. Put your money in 401k. But if you truly want to change what you got going on and do what I'm doing, when you go make that first move, I help you 100%. But other than that, we ain't gonna just talk about this every day. And guess what? You got to put some of your own money in there to get started. So just like that, most of y'all would have took that the wrong way. Oh, he cocky, yada yada yada. I ain't take it like that. Get what? This same man working because he just want to work. He ain't got nothing to do. Got 50 houses, staying in 3 houses, working a job. He just working because he ain't got nothing to do because he been working so long. Why I'm not gonna listen to somebody that's already in position? And that's why we grow over here. We ain't too cocky, or we ain't got so much pride that we can't hear criticism to move. Cause guess what? I'm telling y'all now, if y'all ain't got the backbone for business, stay at work. Cause you're gonna have to make the tough decisions in business. You might have to make that tough decision where I got my people over here, my friends, I'm paying them this money, but they not doing anything. I gotta get rid of them, but that's my friend. Guess what? That's why you don't put your friends into your business. And that's the type of decision that might have to come up. And you see how the companies lay y'all off? Guess what? They have no feelings attached to it. Y'all are the workers working for somebody else's company. They lost money. The first thing in their mind, the quickest way to get that money back is to cut some of y'all to make the other people work harder. Because y'all workers. And when I got that out of my head, like, you know what? I can't. Talking to him made me realize I can't keep working on 70 some hours a week. Yeah, I'm making the money, but I ain't enjoying none of that money. Messing my health up. So guess what? I'm working. I got to eat on the road. I ain't even eating like I need to be eating. Tired. So get what I do? Finally get a break. What I'm doing? I'm sleeping.
Right.
Now I'm making $100,000. But get what? Cornell quickly realized, to be honest with y'all, $100,000 ain't nothing if you want a nice house and nice cars and stuff like that. And you got kids and you want them to be in the best schools and all that. Now, hundred some thousand dollars ain't nothing. You all right if you manage it wisely, but you still working hard and it still ain't nothing. Not for a whole family. Yeah, by yourself, yeah. But who wants to work like that? Who wants to be told when Cornell don't have to wait on nobody to tell him that? Or, Dan, can I get this day off? You know how many people I heard had to work on the Fourth of July when you supposed to be enjoying your family and everything else? They got to go back to work, or they was at work. Because most companies don't even recognize the holidays no more. If y'all ain't been paying attention, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all don't even get a lot of holidays off no more. Holidays is going away if you're in a regular job.
All right. Well, okay. Give me
They
some
going away.
give me some ideas that people can do multifamily entity investing in the industries. Some of them that you think are hot. Some of them you're willing to go in with families right now. Projects like that. What industries do you think are hot for multifamily investing?
Real estate is real good because, like I did told one of my business partners, when we go do multi-family, for me nowadays, it's got to make multi-million-dollar sense. You got to get this. It, it, as you grow, your mentality and your mindset should be changing. So you shouldn't be worried about, I want to just keep getting by, I'm making good money right here. Your mind should be always headed to the other direction. So I'm in the medical field. Okay, we trying to do multi-million, even build $1 billion company. What I don't want my partners to do is, guess what? We gonna lose people because guess what? They gonna stay down here at the 5, 10 level. If I'm going for multi-million, I got to go get the 1,000, 2,000 level people. So when I move into multi-family, it make more sense if y'all going for big business, not just to make a little piece of change and say, hey, the family, all right. No, we're going to leave stuff for the family. So if Cornell partner with anybody, it's to leave stuff for the family, not necessarily to make the money. Y'all got to get your mind off the money and focus on
The assets. Period. You don't work for money.
the
You work for
asset,
assets. We work
the
for assets.
family asset.
It's the only thing. It's one of. I don't know if it's a hard
And
shift.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
tell you the
we were
interview.
exposed to that
Like
early.
when you called me earlier, I said I was watching the Master P interview. I love watching Master P interview because Master P said the reason he made that movie, him and Romeo put their own money up because they looked at the family aspect of it. Long term wise, the impact, whether they around or not, what it's gonna have on their family. So guess what? He didn't have to coach Romeo up. He was hard on him. That's the one thing I heard in that conversation. Like, are we talking? And some of y'all might take it wrong when we say certain things, but guess what? This ain't for employees. You on here, we entrepreneurs. I'm a business person. I'm a straightforward person. So if you ever do something with me in life or wind up doing something with me, I can take criticism, but I'm gonna give something out if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, and we trying to get to some money for real. The same way that young guy called us about that deal, bro. If you're gonna be around me, this the type of deal you gotta know a bad deal without calling me.
he, you're right. He said
So I'm
it
gonna
was
be
a bad
hard
deal. No,
on
no,
you.
no. He did say it was a bad deal, but I say, okay, you got to tell me why it's a
But
bad deal. You
but
can't
I
tell
want you to
me.
understand
Come on now.
exactly.
Come on now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
it was a
want you
bad
to
deal.
tell me
I
from a
just,
business perspective because you are coming over into the entrepreneur world. Yeah, you recognize it was a bad deal, but why?
right. Truly, why? You know,
And to be honest, if you had a real conversation, it could have been a good deal because you could have had enough business or operation information that you know to do a Warren Buffett move. You know how Warren Buffett get companies? He get rid of the management team. Cause guess what? He understand they might have had a true product, but you know what the whole back was? That management team not operating the business. And a lot of y'all don't even realize. Do your homework. American Express was a bankrupt company. Warren Buffett got rid of the whole management team, bought it years ago. Coca-Cola was the same way. That jet service he into was the same way.
Oh,
But he
NetJets,
saw the
Net.
value in the asset.
Oh man, NetJets.
He the value in the asset.
Yeah,
He saw the value in the assets and realized something that I realized and what I look at. This is stuff that I look at with Warren Buffett and that I pick nuggets up on. Like, okay, how you know that was a good deal? Oh, the main ingredient to the business is the operation. Meaning, okay, I look at your book. There's certain things I see in here. Yeah, this BS. This is y'all not managing the company right. It ain't
eventually.
the asset. It's y'all.
Right.
I got to get rid of y'all. And look at what happened with all those companies. He bought them cheap because he know business, and he was smart to know that they had a good asset that everybody was using. Built it back up with a brand new management team that understands operational structure. Now all them successful companies. That's how business works. Learn the operation. You got the best idea in the world. Get like that 1.3 million. You doing some right, but your whole operations is wrong somewhere.
Right. I got a good
So if I
story.
come in, it might it might be a situation like this. We got to come in and get rid of the whole team, and it might be your friends and family. That's the problem. It's probably friends, family members, and all that tied into the business. See, that's an issue. So we're not gonna do a multi-family deal there unless you willing to start over from scratch. And when we go, we're gonna sit down and go through these books and really let me know, okay, what's going on. And most people ain't willing to do that. So guess what? He gonna stay with high cost of goods and expenses.
Right. And one story I want to point out. Here we go. This is putting the rubber to the road, ladies and gentlemen. This is called multi-family entity investing, and then we can caveat GPs, LLCs, LLPs, and trusts. But multi-family entity investing means that multiple families are investing together. What are they investing in? They're investing in sending someone's child to law school. They're investing in someone's child going to accounting school. Cornell, I
Yeah.
want you to caveat in 1 second after I tell the story about the Patels and how they did their operation. I really want you to tell that story. But first of all, ladies and gentlemen, when I talk about multiple family entity investing, listen, Bill Gates got hit with the antitrust lawsuit. He went through years of paying the tax penalty to learn the trust information, and then where did he come out? Guess what? Microsoft, every time it gives the distribution now, it doesn't go to Bill Gates directly. It goes to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Tax deduction for Microsoft. He's still in control of the wealth. It's just that simple. He took the penalty because, and then when you listen to Bill, who's he friends with? He's friends with all the big boys. He's friends with Warren, best friends, and they're doing distributions to each other. But he said, I learned the tax code. It's interesting to see how when they said they learned it, they really didn't learn the private. They didn't learn the millions of tax code. They learned the private one, not the public one. Because they had public attorneys. And look what the public tax attorneys put them into. Look what the public accountants put them into. They put them into an antitrust situation where the company grew so big it got bust down. Or it was looking to get bust down. And then you all can see the more modern episode of Zuckerberg with the same thing. He's already exited out the company. He had the Zuckerberg Foundation right there. You all can see that he's already taken that strategy. This is people that have invested in their private education. So when we talk about private trustee training, that's what you get. We talk about private family foundation. We talk about the type entities, trust. We talk about GPs, LLCs, LLPs, and trust. It's what Bill Gates did. So maybe some people don't have the ambition to be billionaires. Some people don't have the ambition to be multimillionaire, but that's the
And you
case.
got to have the ambition. And that's why I always tell people my story. Like now, start out trading. Guess what? Everybody looking for an avenue. I would say trading is a good avenue to start out in. Because guess what? After you get the trade, now you're going to see you got a little money. Now, guess what? We're going to operate out the trust. But guess what? Even though you got a trust, You still got to generate and operate. As a trustee, you have responsibilities to grow the trust for the family and what get assets. So I'm gonna give y'all a little word of advice. All your people you see online with these Harvard graduates and all that are not really the real people that I meet that's making real money when I'm in these environments.
Right.
So this is a real conversation. 'Cause you be down on yourself because you think somebody higher than you because they talk a certain way or they got the little fancy job. Guess what? I met one of the most highly profile hotel owners. I ain't gonna use their name, but they control the majority of that market. You look up their family name, most of the convenience stores y'all go in, they own. Most of the hotels across the whole United States, a family member owns it. But you want to know what I learned from these guys? They not handing stuff over to their kids without them knowing some business structure and putting some work in. So the one I met told me the story, and we sit around like, oh, they family just got money. But when you go talk to the individual, you'll see that most of them started like you. His dad owned a hotel, not even a big chain. Guess what he told me? I had to clean the rooms, I had to be the maintenance man, I had to cut the grass, had to be the bag boy. Pretty much, I had to do everything. But you know what it did? It taught me the business because I was around everything. So guess what now? He's the key person for the whole family. They did it on purpose. They just don't hand their kids anything. They make them work for it. So when y'all laughing at them Arabs and Indians in them stores and they cleaning up, y'all don't realize that more than likely that's the next family member man line is in there cleaning up the store. He's not gonna do that this whole entire life. He probably is being coached because they take care of their culture. That's something I learned from them. But if you doing your business right and you got that confidence to make them move, it puts you in the room with them people. So guess what? As I'm moving my business, I'm moving like they move. So it ain't I need them or they need me, but oh, we move the same. Just like how you just explained it out. Them guys hang together. They break bread together. Y'all understand what we're doing? These people break bread together. Just because he got Facebook don't mean he don't fool with Bezos. Don't mean he don't fool with Alibaba.
Well, think
Don't
about it.
mean he don't
He
fool with all these
he
other
fooling
people.
with the dudes that
They
sued him.
they
He's fooling with the dudes that sued him and
thank
won
you.
for the company. They literally about to do a partnership where his coin most likely is going to be exchanged, possibly through Gemini. It's that simple. The Winklevoss are the two brothers, the twins. They sued him, and they won lots of money, millions. And as you can see, there's been reported talks about, hey, we want to launch our coin possibly in exchange through you all, because not every exchange exchanges the coins. You know that.
But guess what? That's business. Because guess what? He probably tried to screw them. And they knew they business. And they showed him they know they business. But guess what? What I said when we first started the conversation, there's no feelings in business. Them people here to grow money for their families. So, even though he got sued, he didn't take it personal. Like, yeah, I tried to screw him and they just got me. But I like the way y'all handle business. Cool. I'm willing to do a partnership with you because guess what? We still can make some money. And guess what? They probably sat down, had a conversation, got that understanding. I apologize, yada yada. Gave him the money, went on about their business, and got right back to the business. That's how business works. Y'all get too personal with things. When you got personal ties to it, that's when you go broke.
Personal ties
So even like I
to
said, the
emotional
way I
growth.
move, oh yeah, and you got to be willing to think you can get stuff done. Guess what? I got a business partner. That's it. It's all about how you move. He did a favor for one of them dad. That's why, hold on, get what? I be part owner of a Hilton Marriott. Matter of fact, I be in the investment group. Matter of fact, we'll be the only blacks in the whole entire United States is probably doing business with them. Because guess what? You gotta have character also. Stop doing shady business with shady people. You're not gonna make it. It's gonna come back around centerfold. I promise you. So if you know it ain't right, don't even do it. We're gonna have a real talk. Don't even do it.
And that's when your feelings can
If
come
you
in.
cunning folks for quick money, that's when your feelings gonna kick in because you don't realize like 20 years ago I shouldn't even made that mistake. Cause guess what? A real business person gonna make you suffer. Cause guess what? You was unmoral. So guess what? They gonna be unmoral as much as they can, but you don't have no business structure. They do. They know how to take you out the game without even touching you. Cause you out here cunning people for some quick dollars. Then ask yourself, and that's one thing. I had a commercial cleaning franchise. I still got it. And a lot of people used to do, look, okay, I'm gonna overcharge this person is, or I'm gonna. I never did none of that, and I'm glad I never did none of it. Cause guess what? To this day, my businesses I build on personal relationship along along with the business operation. I never had to worry about no money. It's like people call me all the time. I don't even have to go get their business. But see, that's what y'all missing the point in business. Along with that operation, you got to do good business and get respect from people. Once people got respect from you, they open the doors up for you. So you don't got to be that Harvard graduate or anything else. Christian doing business, I know Christian do legit business. I'm willing to give him the opportunity. And he's set up like me. So now I can get the hotel. I got international deals on the table with some people y'all look up to. I ain't gonna call nobody name, but guess what? A regular person with no degree. You hear him talking about what I said. When I do multi-family move, I'm doing multi-million-dollar family moves now. I'm
Hmm.
moving with people that really think they can get that type of money. If you don't think you can get that type of money, more than likely you ain't gonna be around. I'm just gonna be honest. And Chris was like, yeah, you cut people off quick. I cut people off quick because guess what? I look at it from how Master P or Warren Buffett or anybody else look at it. Why I'm gonna have you around my family and I'm building stuff for my family and you're not a good person?
Well, that's like saying it's about the
And
money,
usually when
Cornell.
people moving together, huh?
I said that's like saying it's about the money. If I ain't making no money with you, then that mean I can't hang out with you.
It ain't always about the money. What I said, you got to be moving. Think about it though. Money involved, but it ain't directly involved. So if Cornell moving the multi-million-dollar thing, how are you gonna be able to move with me if you ain't doing the same things as I'm doing and you getting the opportunities that I'm getting? Eventually, what's gonna happen is we're gonna go on to do the multi-million-dollar stuff. You never made the first initial investment, and it might not even be money involved in the investment. It might be just putting the time in, getting in the right position. Boom, some come up. Now you can put yourself in a position, but where they go back to, putting in the work, not just hanging around people. Self worth. That thing got nothing to do with money.
Man, every time you say that, it always gets to me. But now, just hearing you say that again, I think about how many times I took the initiative in business environments, and I guess that's a leader, because you're able to lead yourself first, and be a self starter to sit around people and not let them say stupid stuff and call out stupid stuff, but at the same time have quality constructive feedback, have solutions for problems. If you're a problem solver, business is great for you. If you're not a problem solver and you want someone to give you all the solutions to all your problems in your life, then obviously a job's for you. But specifically, if you're someone that's not going to sit at the table, if you're someone that's going to sit at the table, be able to take constructive feedback and give constructive feedback, multifamily entity investing and general partnerships or limited liability corporations or limited liability partnerships, or even trust, those things might be favorable. You think about it. We ask people all the time. People say, "Oh, want to be in a trust. Who should be a trustee? Who should be a trustee? Someone that you trust. If you're the first, and they're going to come on and have equal voting rights or any of that nature. Someone that you trust." But for to hear him say knowing your self worth, hearing him say that right now is so critical. Long term to your success. Um, it's just so valuable, man. To take the
So people
initiative.
always call. You get the call. Oh, I ain't got no money. Who said money involved? Go do some research. Guess what? If you know how to talk to people, sometimes it open the door for. So it's more than just following people. If it's something you really want to do, go do the research on it.
Okay, I'll give an easy example. Okay, everybody's so focused on getting the money, and then we say, okay, let's focus on getting the assets. So now we're saying we're not working for money, we're working for assets. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think real estate is an asset, how is real property not an asset? How is intellectual property not an asset? If intellectual property is a real asset that can yield capital, why wouldn't you focus on intellectual pursuits? Pursuits that give you intellectual property that once you have it, you can execute it. What do you think Steve Jobs did? He executed intellectual property. What did Bill Gates do? He executed intellectual property. What did we just bring up about Zuckerberg? He got sued over intellectual property. That is one of the hottest areas right now of pursuit in the world. Is intellectual property. When you see these major corporations suing each other for intellectual property, when you see who was there recently? Huawei got into a situation with spying, anti-spying, intellectual property theft, and things of that nature. When you see these things going on, intellectual property is where tons of capital is at. You guys are over the internet. You can't touch the internet, but it's definitely real. It's intellectual. It's intellectual property. That's why they say you need to get your real estate online, so you can get your intellectual property in real estate online. Kind of overrated, but it's still there. Most domains are owned by the same people. That's the crazy part. And people say, "Oh, how do we start?" How did they start, Cornell? How did we start a partnership, Cornell? Let's just hear that, man, because I don't know where to start. Are you saying don't work with my friends' family, don't hire my friends' family, because they might be the biggest, ones that are going to sit around and with their thumbs up their butt, or they're going to try to, depending on your family, ladies and gentlemen, clearly we're talking about we have a range of audience, so there are people that they don't
And
come
let's
from that.
clear that. And we'll clear that up. Guess what? If your friends are moving and got the same ideas as you and willing to put the same work in as you, that's fine. I do business with my friends. But it's more than us just being friends. All of us have some kind of business structure. And we kind of get the same goal. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Most people just hire people in their family just because they doing a business. That don't mean your family member or friend is in the business. It just means I'm gonna ride your tailcoat and get some money out of you because you got a pretty decent idea and you paying me decent money. So if you don't want to ruin your relationships with people, don't put your friends that ain't sitting there with you and sitting down having this meeting with you, or sitting down and ain't gonna take this class with you, or go do the research with you and everything else.
Or take it
You know
serious.
who. That's it. You know who you rolling with.
You know who it is. Hey,
If
we
your
we
friend came on board after you done made the business, that ain't no be no good business. They don't bring nothing to the business.
let's Cornell, let's address it. Let's address it. We're going to talk about minor details for the folks that you guys. Oh, I never really been a businessman, and I don't really know what it's like. Can I show up 5 minutes late to the meeting? Can I not call people back? Let's talk about that. We've talked about that. Let's talk about that. Cornell, what happens when you get into the business and the partners are showing up late for the meetings? What are some reprimanding mentality? Because some people are, like you say, some people are great growers and they're not operators. But sometimes in the operation, even if you're the grower, you're sitting in a meeting and you got to be reprimanded for either coming to the meeting on time, not coming to the meeting on time. I mean, we can talk about a lot of the food pause, but we're talking about the things that, yes, we do it. We're talking about what happens. So could you talk about in your situation maybe how you handle those situations, Cornell, with uh, people showing up late? How do you reprimand? How do you talk to partners that may not have equal share but they're working more? How do you deal with where even equal share, the shares are not even equal, but you still have to come to you still have to come to the table and get the goddamn job done. Let's just say that.
You got to be dealing with real people. Somebody that's gonna respect you telling them that and not taking it the wrong way. I deal with people. Guess what? They respect it. They understand. They move with us. Like, yeah, that ain't my stronghold. I'm really trying to get out that role. But yeah, y'all help me with it. Cause guess what? It's bad bit. The simple stuff is what mess you up on deals. So it's about respecting people's time at the same time. Or even that simple phone call communication can cause you a headache or it can solve a solution for it. Most people avoid people when stuff come up. As a team, you sit down, you can't do that. One thing I learned from business, and y'all keep me saying, you got to be straightforward. You got to be honest. That's bottom line. You would not get in a position like me being dishonest or avoiding people. So if it's some, whether it's good or bad, you got to address it. So guess what? If you're doing business with real business people, they're gonna understand the situation. But if you go around the situation and you're trying to handle it by yourself and it's still not getting done, think about it. You're making people more mad. When you could just pick them up, been honest, hey, this is what's going on, this is what we got, this is what I can try to do. Guess what? Ain't no feelings in the business. So my business partner ain't gonna take it the wrong way. They'll be like, yeah, y'all right. And he working on it.
Okay.
But we can't sit around and not and expect this man to change overnight. Together, that ain't his stronghold. That's his weakness. So we can step in. That's what we said. We're gonna step in so you won't have to be put in that position. So you can go back to what you're comfortable in doing.
Right.
But that's why you got a team. So guess what? If he was if he was operating on his own, it'll be a downfall to his own business. Because guess what? He don't got nobody there to actually tell him that to understand it. Because guess what? Some people might meet with you and not even say nothing to you about it and don't even call you no more.
Every time. Every time.
Then then you might meet a real business person that's gonna tell you like, hey Christian, I waited 30 minutes for you. Respect my time like I respect your time. But everybody don't do that. So if you operate by yourself and you don't understand that, that's how quick and easy you could lose money and that could be a downfall to your business. That's why we move as a team. Everybody got strengths and weaknesses. Now, a partner, he gonna grow the business. Trust me. He just ain't the operating man. So we got to step in. The other partner gonna step in, take care of some of the operations, get that off of him, so he can get back to what he do, cause he grow the business. So you gotta take people out that role. But if you moving by yourself, you can't do that. And that's why we're gonna be successful in what we're doing. Because we got a whole team here that understand business, and we don't take stuff personal, and we ain't gonna sugarcoat when we get in the meet. Guess what? If I'm not doing something, they supposed to get on me. I ain't gonna take it the wrong way. I'm gonna be like, dang, you right. I'm y'all right. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna get mad like, oh, forget Christian. Man, forget y'all, man. Y'all, I'm out of here. That's the ego. That's why people don't make no money.
Well, I gotta.
I hear it all the time. You hear it all the time. People say, I got this, I got that, I did this on my own, man. I don't care nothing about saying I did nothing on my own. What I do care about is saying, hey, I got this multi-million dollar business, this multi-million dollar business, this multi-million dollar business going on, and I got a strong team around it. I ain't really got to do a whole lot of work. So now we operating right, but we still understand business, so we still gonna come together on a weekly basis and discuss things. But guess what? Y'all want to give people y'all money and walk away and don't even check up. That ain't how business operate. It might be something we need to look at in the book, like, oh, we spending too much money right here. Like that. There's still stuff that's got to be done with the operation of the company to keep the company going.
But hold up. Now that we talking to two different audiences here, so for each side, please bear with us. For the ones that say, I never invested with my friends and family. I never invested with anybody. We're gonna throw out some numbers. I got 5,000 I could spend. Or I can invest. I got 10,000 I can invest. I got 25 I can invest. I got $50,000 I can invest. So okay, who am I gonna give my money to? Do you see how you sound? Who am I gonna give my money to? Who can I trust? I don't know how to start this investment.
You missing
Is
the
it an
key
investment
element there.
club? Is it investment
One
club,
thing,
Cornell?
one thing I'm gonna say. Starting off, you see how they talk to me, and they told me I'm gonna have to invest some of my own money into something that I want to do. So even when I do the multi-family, that don't mean Cornell won't put no work in to make sure Cornell gonna get his money. That's something I understand. I don't like to have my money just to people. So guess what? That ain't how I was taught. So you hear me say it all the time. I gotta put my hands on it. That don't mean I gotta control it or make all the decisions, but Cornell's gonna have his hand on it.
Right.
That's where the board and the multi-family come in. We had a discussion. That don't mean I'm running the whole company. So don't think that that's how it is when you're dealing with people. You gotta understand business structure. Bottom line, if I got 5,000, I'm not giving it to you. So guess what? If I'm building stuff for my family, I gotta think on my own for my family. What do I really want to do on my own besides working for somebody? That's what my first initial investment was, and that's how I did it. I didn't have a $2,800 to get started. But guess what? It ain't all about the money. 3, 4 months later, I done grow that business from making 1,100 a month to 5 figures a month. And guess what? We grinded it out. We put the work in.
You was
I
working
didn't go look for
overtime,
nobody. I was still working the job.
and you was doing work at the after work.
So like I tell you, when people call me, you can't give me no excuses. You talking to a man that's been an employee. I work way more hours than anybody. I work 60 to 70 hours a week because I work for the phone company outside. When the storm and all that was going on, Cornell was at work. Get off from there, go clean some buildings. Me and my partner, all over the city, get an hour, 2 hours sleep, back at work. But guess what? We had real mentors around, and we did exactly what they said. 3 months down the road, I'm making a decision like, oh, man, I'm gonna get this cleaning account. It's 10,000 a month at this private school. I got to quit the job. I'm making more money on my own, and I'm making at the job, killing myself. It takes commitment. It ain't about the money. Like if you would call me by trade, guess what? You got to pay something. And I'm giving y'all a break when I do $300-400. People tell me, man, you should be getting this and that. I ain't really doing it for the money. I'm giving you the opportunity to get started. And it's something very powerful. But if you ain't gonna take the time to study, like we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Well,
Can't
that's where I
nobody
meant
tell you that I
investing in
didn't
your
use the
education.
tools
That's what I meant.
and
Is
then
you
use
talking
the
about that?
tools. Oh yeah,
Investing
you
in the
gotta invest in
education.
your education.
And
Mm-hmm.
once you get the education, like you say, it's doing something with the knowledge. It's doing something with it once you get it. You know, but a lot of times I think people get analysis of paralysis or paralysis of analysis. They end up trying to research all the information before they actually do something. And even with you, I would like for you to comment on that from the perspective of you studied trading for 8 months before you actually took your first live trade. Some people, because they obtained a webinar from you, they're like, oh man, I got to get into this quick. I got to dive in. I got to be making money like the aunt. I got to hear all these success
Yeah,
stories. So they think they got to make it
cause they,
overnight.
cause they chasing,
The money.
they chasing money. But guess what? Everybody I see that made the money focus on the information and their chart. You ain't got to worry about the money. They caught on. You got to pay attention when people talking to you. We don't talk about money on the webinar. We talk about these charts. So it must be something in the chart. If he keeps saying the chart is gonna make me whatever I want to make, that you should be focused on what somebody telling you and following instructions. A lot of us want to sway
Piecemeal.
away from the
Yep.
instructions
Yep.
and piece your own ideas together because you think you know something.
Thank you. How do you know something after somebody done gave you something? You know how many people contact at the vault and they got the consultation. It was I'm gonna address this. You contact the vault. I gotta trust already. That's the first thing they say out their mouth. I gotta trust. Teach me trustee training. No. How about you go back to the people that sold you the trust? Because it's not just about the contract and us seeing what it is. It's your mindset. Are you investing in education to go into truly private? Or are you looking to get something to fit it into your public scenario when you're the grantor of the trust? You're the creator of the trust. Barely people even know who's the grantor. I don't know. What's the grantor? What do you mean? What's the grantor? How do you not know the grantor? Are you in trust? What is a trust? If you how are you in trust and don't know what a grantor is? But you're in trust. You gotta trust. You think you're the trustee. You may or may not be the trustee. You're not really sure. Oh, I think one of my kids is the beneficiary. I'm pretty sure about that. It's investing in the education because it's a system. We really got to emphasize this nowadays with people because they think they going to piecemeal it. You're not piecemealing $30 million worth of information minimum. You're not. There's no piecemealing to it because the people that do it, they do it right. When you hit it, you hit big. The success ratio of being in a private
Yeah,
family
big.
foundation, you wouldn't even be in it if you weren't going to hit big. It just ensures you never losing after you hit big. Because we say it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. It's about the keeping when you hit big, not giving it back away.
Not giving it back. That's business structure.
From the beginning, when we say people in traditional real estate investment trust, like dealing with other people in real estate investment trust. How much longer you got, man? I don't
And
want
like
to
I said,
hold
it
you up.
really fall back to the. It really fall back to like I said. If y'all hear what we talking about, we ain't really talking about the money. We talking about educating yourself. Like even when I do the training class, it's a book. That book don't cost no more than $15, but it's very critical that you learn what you need to learn to get to that level. But how many of you gonna read that book the way I told you to read that book and not try to rush the process? Trust me, I deal with all types of people. I know how some people live. They think they at a certain level and all that. You really can't tell them nothing. And guess what? I treat them the same way my mentors treat me. Just know that I'm not following up with you. I gonna tell y'all that now. Did I say I wasn't gonna help you? I didn't say that. But I'm not following up on you because I ain't heard from you. So guess what? If you move with how I'm moving, you gonna contact me anyway. If you really into the information, even with the trust, you should have questions. You should contact me. I'm gonna help you. But if you take the class and don't hear from me no more again, then let me know. Well, one is you get it on your own, or you really ain't paid no attention to it.
Right, because the information
But that
fosters community. It
but
fosters
that's
people
that's where
working
they go to
together.
breakdown. That's it. And that's where the breakdown come in. What I said, my mentor said, I can teach you how to trade for free, but guess what? Most people don't take nothing serious unless they got their own money behind it. So y'all look at it like this. If I teach a webinar, and I just told you this man paid $60,000, $70,000 for this information, some of this information. Y'all getting 5 more years of somebody pretty much giving you detailed information. And he gonna let you get it for $300, $400. Why would I call or follow up with you? You just wasted your own money. Cause guess what? I pretty much got paid for my time for them 2 days. It ain't even about the money, but you just wasted your money. That's the same thing with trust training. That's why I always tell people, look, stop giving people shortcuts. Like that's something they're gonna have to learn being an entrepreneur and business. You're gonna have to invest in yourself, period. Whether it's with me or with him or whatever you're doing. Because you got to learn how everything operates. Guess what? When you're on the private side, nobody's giving nothing out. We were just talking about this earlier. Just like with the trust stuff. Guess what? The ones that really in that space and know the actual power in it, there's very few attorneys, they probably ain't gonna even have a conversation with you. You're gonna go pay $30,000, $40,000 for that trust. No questions asked. And then go back to what I heard my speaker talking about today. That's the mindset that black people we got. We don't even do business with each other, but we can go here and think this guy a professional and pay him with no problem. That's crazy. But then you want to say you ain't got no money to do anything.
Right.
That right there let people know you got the money to do whatever you want to do, but it's your mind up, it's your mindset up to you.
I think
So I'm not gonna negotiate with you on what I'm doing because at the end of the day, Christian don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. I hate to say the statement like that, but I'm trying to put you in a position where you should be saying the same thing. So with trade, if you learn it, you don't need me.
Okay, I got a good story because we were talking about this the other day about how even you're going to the real estate course, and then I told someone else about the real estate course, and then I guess they drug their feet so long, or they didn't get in contact fast enough, and the course you know something good when it's limited. It's limited, ladies and gentlemen. This is an international course. This isn't there's millions of people that follow one man, and the man that's standing next to him is doing a limited space course, and he has an 18,000 square foot house. That's probably not the only one, but he has commercial real estate and multi-million dollar real estate properties, and you're telling us you're gonna, well, I gotta figure out how much it costs. I'm gonna figure it out. So they said they was gonna figure it out, and then guess what? We don't know if they got the figuring out done yet. We really don't know, and who knows if they're really ready. But they were inquiring, and they found out that, oh wow, it's limited, and they actually closed it off. And it was like, yeah, that's why me and him aren't even at the same date. It's because of the limited aspect of that. So Cornell, people are asking for you in the chat, man. I'm gonna just give out Christian at Trust Christian. Unless you want to do her website, I don't know, man, because I know that's just her site. But if you all want to email Christian at Trust Christian, we'll forward you Cornell's email, CJR, and we'll get that to you all. So just feel free to email us, and we'll get you over to Cornell. We've heard the demand once again for the webinar. Um, but yeah, if you could talk about that, the people dragging their feet on the education.
Education is the key element to your success. There we go. Yeah, the education is the key to the success. Like the reason I tell people I feel that I'm successful because even when I was working, I knew I wasn't gonna be working my whole entire life.
That's
It's
a
the
great one.
mindset.
That's
Guess
a great
what?
one.
I read up. I read up on a lot of business stuff. Like, and y'all hear me talk, hear Christian talk. Man, I don't even got a college degree,
Thank you. We got friends that
but
got
I
MBAs and
know
they ain't
stuff.
got no damn
Hold
business.
on. We we go, we gonna talk it up. I got information that they don't even know. I can make somebody stop in their tracks. Attorneys, other traders. Y'all didn't hear me. I trained a hedge fund. These guys was handling a nine-figure hedge fund. People don't get in their personal feelings. These people buy business. But me knowing information I know in the business world, I'm gonna let y'all know something. You gotta make yourself worthy to be in that business world. So guess what? We go study what we do. When we have a conversation, it catch people's attention. Oh, I done heard about this, but I don't know this. They could be, you gonna have someone like, man, I got an MBA, yada yada. You got attorneys that say that all the time. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't trust that, this, yada yada. That's somebody that's trying to get some money out of you. Bottom line. So guess what? Most wealthy people have heard about this. So if your attorney tell you he don't know nothing about that trust or stay away from this and that, that means he just trying to keep getting that money out of you, which means you probably got him on retainer and he making a ton of money out of you, charging, overcharging you for stuff that if you went and did the research, you'll know that. But that's you depending on somebody else again to take care of business for you and your family. That's critical. Wanna know why we talk trust? Who writes that contract in the trust, Chris?
The grantor.
Who hires the attorney? Who the attorney work for, Chris?
They work for the family. Yeah, they work for the trust. Work for the trust.
So when most people go to the attorney, they think the attorney work.
That they work for the
They
attorney.
work for the attorney.
Yeah, somehow it's just really weird. It's like you pay someone and now you're under their control. That's really weird. It's just yeah, that's just really weird. It's a consumer mentality. That's how you know you're a consumer. When you think that you pay someone and now they have power over you. That's what Apple has done to your life. That's what Google has done to your life. Since you paid them, you think you owe them something. How do you owe them and you pay them? They're supposed to be service providers. They're supposed to be providers. We literally sit here and joke around about the USPTO, which is the United States Trademark and Patent Office. We got attorneys that minimum charge $1,500 to $2,400 to even deal with your trademark or your patent, and that's something that we talked about where you can literally call the USPTO and they'll literally walk you through on how to do it.
And they go back for our employees. What we said, do research. I'm glad you brought it up. Do y'all even know? Like he just told you the cost. I'm gonna give y'all a little word of advice. All you gotta do is make a phone call sometime, and you'll find out stuff.
Yep.
You wanna know who set up my LLC? I set my own dang on LLC up. Attorney wanted to charge me $4,000. I did a little research. Matter of fact, I made a simple phone call. Guess what? The state directed me directly to where I need to go. In Alabama, it's 5 things on one form to set up an LLC. They ask you about the offices and stuff like that. You turn the form in, get them a check from the business account that you open. Pretty much, that's it. They give you the rest of what you need. 2, 3 weeks later in the mail. They charging you $4,000 for that. They cost me $25. Wonder why it cost me $25? I had to pay the state $25 for processing.
Yeah.
Copyrights the same way. Those people will actually walk you through, if you know how to put it in there, will walk you through the process for free. So when people call me, I don't want to hear the money excuse. I ain't got this and that. I'm, and one thing, guess what? We follow good people. So guess what? I follow Eric Thomas and everybody. I see how Eric Thomas got the following he got. Because guess what? He don't sugarcoat with you. You know, you ain't going to be in that room with Eric Thomas and come with that sad excuse. He ain't going to let you sit there with that sad excuse. Because you got to have that confidence. All right, Chris, now he said you ain't got that money, but what you doing? What motivates you? We just can't say we ain't got the money. Cause we survive in some kind of way. We on the world. You survive in some kind of way. You still alive. It take a simple sacrifice. Like I told you, they made me realize that when I was working. Man, I was spending $1,000 on food.
And that was years back.
Guess what? That was years back. And when I cut it out, I'm sitting here worried about getting the money for the franchise. Been talking about it. Boom, there go the money for the franchise. And you can't coming over to our world, Christian. Everything ain't a win. But you gotta build your business where even if you lose, it still ain't a loss. So you gotta take chances. I had 2 kids at the time. I took that chance to go out on my own. I left the $100-some thousand job
I think
before a layoff happened.
I think you do have to seek a level of failure. I think you have to be okay with failure just as much as you have to be okay with success. I don't think failure is something people that they want to accept. I
You
think
gotta get to that point.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you gotta get to that point where if you say, like when people call me, if you say you ready to change something for your family, you talking to a person that made that decision and was willing to lose everything, start back over, cause I ain't never had no issue making no money, but I needed a change. Guess what? I don't need no more motivation. I'm not doing this the rest of my life. And I pay attention. Pay attention to your surroundings. I'm working for the phone company. I already took. I'm gonna explain something to y'all. You wanna know why I got my job? Because 85% of the people at the phone company had, and this is sad. This is what made me really go out on my own. Had 30 plus years. Was getting ready to retire. Phone company preparing themselves. Okay, we're gonna bring a lot of younger people in. They start going around to community colleges and stuff like that, getting the tests out. But what happened was they didn't educate none of these people with the 30 years about their money or anything. And 100% of their money was in, guess what? The company stock. Company stock was booming for years because the phone companies had no regulation. Their money wasn't fluctuating. It was no competition. Government got involved, broke it up. Nobody still educated. None of these older people. It's time to retire. Now that Stockton took an 80% drop. Guess what? They can't force them out. So guess who get the bad part of that totem pole? The younger people that came in. But I'm looking at, hold on, we making $2-3 billion profit every quarter. Why somebody getting laid off every 3 months? And I seen the writing on the wall before it happened, and I told everybody around me, hold on, everybody gonna be gone.
That sound
I'm
like the
out.
plantation. And so we all gonna be gone out of here soon. Like, oh man. We all gonna
Because it
get
didn't take me longer
fired
being in the
soon.
corporate world. With guess what? It ain't about the education. It's about common sense and mindset. I was in a corporate environment, and it didn't take me long to catch on in corporate environment to realize that these people don't care about nobody else. They laying somebody off, and it's saying every 3 months. And I'm telling you, when it was Bell South was making $2-3 billion profit every quarter, cash. Y'all ain't hear him say cash money. And somebody for the last, I've been going for the phone company for 7 years, and it's still to this day, I talk to people at the phone company, they still going through layoffs and had to worry about their job every 3 months. And it caught up with a lot of them over the last few years. Like the one that was I started out with that I said I seen it right on the wall. Guess what? They got rid of a whole building, whole skyscraper building. Matter of fact, you was downtown by the club. That building across the street was where I used to work at. The bells, that building empty.
Yeah, I talked to the partner about that. She mentioned and she told me that was the building that people, she told me that, and I was just like, oh, okay. And like you said, it is a big building that is not being occupied for business purposes anymore. So yeah, yeah,
And it, it don't matter. Thousand, couple hundred. Investing in yourself, you can't go wrong if you take it 100% serious. I ain't seen it go wrong for nobody yet. Especially with the trade so like I show them, I ain't seen it went wrong for them yet because they invested in themselves. You're gonna have to invest in yourself, period. Cause one thing they don't do no more, and it be some guys making some key points. I listen to a few people, and they make up good points. Like back then, Y'all don't even understand. You know who some of the most wealthiest people is people with trades. And somebody showed them business. This is how serious it is that y'all don't even think about it because it's public opinion. They sent you to the public school. They making you think you got to work for somebody. But we were just talking about this earlier. Y'all go to work. They pay $3,000-$4,000 every 2 weeks. When a guy with a regular normal trade like cutting grass can literally go every day on his own time, make him probably $200-$300 a day, not work 40 hours, work when he want to, ain't got to answer to nobody, sees all his money. He's in a business structure, so he get a little bit more tax deductible and all that. And y'all killing yourself for the $70,000 to $100,000 when you probably could have learned a trade and made you $500 to $1,000 a day. To be honest, I know guys that make $500,000 cutting grass. You think they care about having a fancy title at a corporation that's gonna give me $100,000 and tell me when to be off? And I had this conversation with people that didn't have no money. Okay, what you do? You cutting grass? Man, shoot, go get you a lawnmower. They go buy you a cheap lawnmower and get out there and get the grind. Then guess what? Don't spend all your money. Upgrade to some stuff to make your job easy. They didn't did it. That's why I say I know somebody make $500,000. Now he got his own crew working for him. No college. But at the end of the day, you're gonna get that business education from the hard knocks. It's private information. It ain't taught at school. Now you gotta get around them individuals and learn it.
When does the learning process
Then like we
end?
talking about this real estate course. Never. You see that with us. You got to stay. Get, well, let's talk in y'all turn. Guess what? They give y'all certification that y'all got to go pay money for them electives and keep your continual education going. We doing the same thing over in the entrepreneur world, but we investing in ourselves. Not because somebody gave me a piece of paper and told me I got to go down here and get the rest of my accreditation points. I got to take this class or whatever yada yada and pay y'all.
The
Cause I
lifestyle
can
is
write
what
my
pays us.
expenses off.
The lifestyle pays us, man.
Guess what?
Just to, yeah, yeah.
Guess what? We this a write off. This is a business expense going to real estate course. Well, hop out the house. It's a business expense. We got to make money for the family. We in trust. Nobody taking care of us but us. Hey, when I leave the house, put some gas in that car. It's an expense. I got to go do something. Y'all can't do that. So that's why it's good to be formed up and educated. And y'all never heard us one time say anything with the trade or the trust about you not doing it yourself also. Guess what? That's how we move. We move. We do businesses together. This ain't the only thing we do is trade and trust talk.
I guess that's what they right? Yeah, yeah.
You should be able to get to the point. I tell people when I teach them to trade, when you got it, who to say you can't go help somebody? Just don't put my stuff online and go start a website and all that. Hey, but guess what? Go develop your own thing. Because none of us gonna trade alike. I'm gonna give you the key ingredients, but you can go out and be that's money. Trust the same way. We ain't with stealing. If you do it the right way, we don't care about you going to make no money. Guess what? We break bread over here off our table. I ain't eating at the table by myself.
Do you think it's hard to find the right people? Like, what are some of the ways that you've made it a point to find the right people? I know you said you this is what the right person sounds like because you
Thinking,
said they push
thinking
you.
outside, thinking outside the box. If you around negative people, to get around them negative people. If it's something you interested in, guess what? You gotta do the research. So guess what? You might have to go spend that $3,000 at the comfort, not just because it was $3,000. You might meet the right people in that room.
Right.
Somebody might like you in that room
Okay.
and give you some information to get started. So it still go back to education, like you said, and investing in yourself. You can't get in trust without investing in yourself. It ain't gonna make sense to you. We're just talking about that. People that try to steal that, but guess what? They don't know how to operate. That's the most important thing.
That's why it's trustee training, because it's about the management. So, yeah.
It's the management. At the end of the day, trust me, y'all can try to go out, steal the dock, but you don't know how to operate it, and you got to deal with them government people. You try to skip the education, it's over with for you. I can tell you that now. And you're not gonna like when they catch up with you. So why cheat your own self or cheat your family? We not cheating each other in business and stuff. Yeah, well, we got a problem. We gonna talk about the issues, the problem. It ain't that serious. We doing business. We got families to take care of. We got legacies to start. You know what I said? Our kids gonna probably go to school together and be in. Hey, I don't care what you want to do in life. I still gotta instill this in you. That's what I like about Master P. Like I said, he didn't make Romeo this go do music and everything else. I'm gonna show you the business aspect. Then guess what? You gonna get the rest from living life and whatever. But guess what? You got the main ingredient, so you can work from there. Like my oldest daughter, look at me now when I tell her, I don't care what else you do in life. I'm gonna teach you the trade, so I can know. Guess what? You alright, cause I can't control what you do when you get older. But I'm gonna give you this one element, and I know from being around other successful people and wealthy people, they don't force it on their kid. They just put them in the environment, like what we talking about. They put them in the environment, so they naturally, by themselves, start developing your characteristics anyway.
Okay. Okay. And
So
that's
when I
something.
move now, guess what? I don't just move by myself. I take my kids, but guess what? Then we're gonna sit down and look at some of the business aspects. I ain't forcing it on them. I'm just exposing them to it. You know, like I said, I learned that from the guy with the foundation and his little 10, 11-year-old son sitting up here doing the presentation. He naturally learning that without his daddy forcing it on him. I'm like, ding, boom. That's why we like being in the right environment. That just helped me with my kids. Oh, damn, I ain't got to force it on them. Oh, yeah, we still gonna do fun things. They're natural learning because I'm putting them in the right environment. I'm in the right environment. Other people like me, kids in the right environment. So when you look at some celebrities that are successful, look at the ones that are really successful. They kids around the right environment and they wind up hanging with their buddies, kids, and all that, and wind up going to school for the right things. They keep the money in the family. That's legacy.
And that's why multifamily entity investing is important. When people even say, "Oh, how do you pass along the wealth from one generation to the next?" When people get older, like you say, now your daughter can go out and she can be in a partnership, a GP with you. She can be an LLC with you. She can be an LLP with you. She can be a trustee of trust with you. Because she has the wherewithal to do this, and it's not a I gotta coach you up mentality. A lot of people sometimes they come and say, "Well, I don't have these people around me," and we've just we keep going back to that because that's a common thing that we hear is we got to get around more people that are like that and think like that. And like we say, it's not about the $3,000 or the two
Guess what?
thousand
I'm
dollars.
from the country. Exactly. So you see how I be. It is nothing you can call me with and give me an excuse about that I haven't been through. I am from the country. My original town had two lights in it, 20 minutes from the city. Yeah, have relatives in the project, raised in the projects and all that, but I'm from the country. So you can't give me no excuse about getting in the right environment because that's all in your head. I made up in my head without anybody telling me like this ain't how I want to live. And guess what? If you really from them environment, you gonna really have a focus to get out of them environment. So when I see a lot of people that like to play in them environment, I know for real that they ain't really in them environment because I was really in them environment. That ain't where I want to be at every day.
You don't want to be in a city where it's only two
And I
lanes.
made that up in my head. I don't want to be in the city where there's two lights. I don't want to be in the projects having to worry about looking over my shoulder or somebody trying to do something to me. Guess what? It's more to the world when you get out there and start exploring and you start learning a whole lot. That's why I like to teach the trading to people because guess what? A lot of stuff y'all see on TV is propaganda. I just had this conversation with somebody that go back and forth to Africa all the time. They show you on TV Like it's so much going on over there for you won't go over there. But he's telling me about all the opportunities. Like I said, we business people, so it's always gonna be a conversation come out of some business somewhere. But he was telling me why he was going over there. And like he's telling me like right now, he's like, they talk bad about Ghana and play like that, but it's one of the richest countries in the world. And then he told me something. I said, I like being around different environments. The reason all that goes on in Africa, Africa never sold out. So you go start a business in Africa, they gonna always have 51%. So they don't get money from the United Nations and all them other places. Like that's why you got to move around. It's a whole lot more to just your environment and people on the internet. That be propaganda. That these folks that have you scared to go somewhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of
And I really push the people around me nowadays. Like
yeah.
you got to start. Guess what? You might have to be the person to start pushing everybody around you, or you going to have to push them out. Guess what? I push everybody around me now, whether they down here still working or they up here and they're starting with the trade. Like when I tell you, I went on a trip with somebody. Guess what? You sitting here looking. This is a simple conversation we got from another environment. Okay, you looking at the menu. Oh, I want the lobster tail. Oh, them $35. I don't know. You, you, hold on, time out.
Your body hurt.
You got $400 shades. You got $400 shades on your face. You got to stop that mentality and start thinking right. Guess what? Sometimes I don't even know what the price is on the menu.
Right.
Cause that ain't how I'm living.
Right.
I'm an entrepreneur. I ain't checking the prices. I like deals, but there's certain things I ain't checking on. You just spent $400 on them shades. Now you sitting here, oh, I'm finna get the chicken fingers. What them glasses doing for you on your face? Nothing. So when we say we ain't got the money, don't call me and say you ain't got $300. I can bring up 50 million reason why you got $300. Cause I'm pretty sure you walk around with nice shoes, might like a purse, your shades, your nice car. Ain't no excuses. So why even call somebody telling you ain't got no money? That means you looking for somebody to feel sorry for you. And in these environments, don't nobody feel sorry for you. The reason people don't get deals done in these environments is because you begging people to do stuff for you and you're not showing your self-worth. That's the first thing I learned going in these environments. Guess what? I meet Eric Thomas. I ain't in there like a groupie on Eric Thomas.
Well, like you said, I think it goes to
Guess what?
self
When I
worth.
meet people, it's different. Huh?
I think it goes to what you say as to self worth, knowing your value.
It's self-worth, dog. You got to feel you can stand in that room. Guess what? I feel I can stand in that room and
Well,
it's
okay,
happening.
I think that's the issue. Is so many feel like they're behind. They feel like that they don't
You never
have
behind. That's a
proprietary
mindset.
information. I know, great point. They feel like it's a oh, these people have more than me, especially on the balance sheet side. This person has more than me on the balance sheet side, and what value do I bring to the table? It looks like they have everything in place. What value do I bring to the table? I don't know how people can say that, but people
But guess
contact the vault
but
and say that.
but guess what? When you come in contact with these people, instead of being memorized with them, you should be trying to have a real conversation with them. That's how we was talking to the young guy. And you telling me, oh yeah, old boy responding back to him on Instagram. Guess what? Everybody ain't getting that response back. The man probably relating with you because y'all in the same, coming from the same background. You should be asking real questions, not just hounding him for advice, but just having a real conversation with people. That's how you wind up with people's phone number in your phone. I have real conversations. I hang with a lot of different people. I pull my phone out. I can call people right now. Y'all can't even get in contact with it. Y'all look up on the internet and everywhere else. I can call them right now, and they gonna respond back. And that came from self worth. That ain't come from me. And guess what? I don't even call them or hound them. And that's another thing. When you get the contact, don't hound people. That let people know you desperate. You say you working, but you calling me every day, and you not talking about nothing. That's what make people get away from you. Then you miss the whole. You probably miss your blessing right there
And that's the
because
same.
you wasn't willing to go out and work.
And that's the same thing for people that you surround yourself with. If you're listening, ladies and gentlemen, the same mentality that Cornell is discussing when people approach him, it's okay to adopt that mentality of I need to be around people that are making moves with or similar to me because that's where I'm headed. And there's nothing wrong with leaving the ones behind that aren't, and I think that,
And it,
coming
and
from a
if
lot
you
of
doing
employee
what you're supposed
environments
to
that
do,
that's, yeah.
the one thing you got to remember, you can't force nothing on anyone. So guess what? If you want people around you to change, that means you got to change. Sometimes you got to lead by example. All these people around me know now, and the stuff they going through. Cornell has been on his own for the last 8 years. Cornell goes wherever he want to. Cornell is doing whatever he want to. Eventually, you gonna stop me and have that conversation. Cause guess what? I ain't gotta hound you. If you moving like that, go back to what I'm saying. If you moving with me, we gonna have that conversation. So guess what? When I was on that cruise, I ain't seen a lot of folks in a little while. But at the first conversation they had, like, man, whatever you doing it correct. I wasn't focused back then. I'm focused now. Tell me what I need to do and start. I don't mind helping people. Guess what? They already know. Y'all been around me. I don't force people around me to learn trading and nothing else. I don't force people to go and invest. Hey, you feel like, hey, you good at the job? Hey, I'm gonna say my little piece to you. After that, hey, Christian, know, hey, I keep it moving. Cause that's something I learned about trade. That's the first thing the mentor told me. Like, I can teach you, but you got to be willing to learn this. This ain't one of them things you just go pick up when you feel like it. You gonna have to be dedicated to learn it.
Well, when you say dedicated, I think it turns it back into what it really is. It turns it into a business. Is what I love about it is that it grew into a love for me, which I knew it would be a love for me, and I knew that from the beginning. It's just interesting. Sometimes you see these things that they're going to take you away from where you are, and that's a great thing. Sometimes that means you're getting out your comfort zone. That's just being honest with you all. But one of the things a lot of people say, "Oh, do what you love, do what you love." Think about it. If you get up 8 months in a row and you study 5 hours a day for something, you might fall in love with it, even when it's not making you no money. So when you in those hard times and
Oh
things
yeah,
change
and it
up,
help and it help you develop. Like I said, coming from a business aspect, it's gonna help you develop other areas. So get what when you get that, now you can go back and do what you want.
yeah.
You didn't hear me just say I'm doing trade. Guess what? I know how the rich folks survive. I gotta have me some 8 different streams of income in real business, not somebody coming to me and say, "Hey, Cornell, man, I got this $100,000 idea." No, Cornell know how to look at business. Oh, it sounds good. Chris said, I don't listen to people when they talk money. Somebody talking money with you or bragging about what they got, they more than likely, I'm gonna give y'all a little quick hint. They probably ain't making no real money. Cause guess what? When I'm in the business environment, nobody's sitting there bragging about how much money they got. I
But
want y'all to hear that again. Nobody is bragging about how much money they got. So think about when you run across the network marketers and they trying to sell you a lifestyle and all that. Real business people don't sell you a lifestyle.
well, what about the hip hop artists, man? They holding money to their ear. People who listen to this stuff. They listen to, Nicki Minaj's and the Cardi B's and all the rappers are talking. All the hip hop artists. Everyone's talking about getting more money. That's what they talking about, getting money. So ain't I'm supposed to be looking at them?
You got to get around them and see how they actually moving.
Like it goes
It
back to
go
what we were
back to
talking
what
about, the
we just
structure.
said.
You've been talking
You
about
got
structure
you
the whole
got to get
episode.
it. You got to get in the environment. Then you start realizing like, oh, the sponsor gave them half that stuff they doing. Oh, the sponsor got them holding the money to their ear. Oh, they kids ain't he ain't really in the hood. His kids over in the prep school. Come
Right?
on, man.
Y'all better.
Get
That
off the
be.
internet.
You know.
That's being lazy.
Oh man, that's so true.
That's being lazy right there. The internet got people lazy. And it's called, even when I talk about the guy about Africa, he talk that's what he talk about. The government gives you propaganda to make y'all scared. When I teach trade, when I said they manipulating the market, when I show it to you, your whole perspective should change. If I can tell you what's gonna happen before time, months down the road, why I wanna watch TV? And here you lie to me to get my emotions all worked up. Now I know. Okay, when I hear it on TV, you know what's in my mind? I'm finna make a lot of money today. What? Trump said he finna go bomb Korea? Oh, let me hop in that Japanese yen because it's finna tank. Boom, they gonna make the money and a couple of days later they back buddies.
Or rhodium.
It's been worked out.
They got rhodium for the metals and stuff. They got processing and all that steel that's being processed for it. Yeah.
But my point is, get off the internet. Guess what? When I teach you this, the reason I copyright it ain't on the internet. It came from private sources. Trust information, yeah, he give you little bits. You go back and watch the video, but you're not gonna figure it out. You still gotta know the operation. It comes from a private environment. When you talk to private individuals, they gotta stay private for a reason. Guess what? The government ain't gonna bother, but when you go into their world, you gotta stay private. You can't be flip flopping back and forth. That's what y'all don't understand. That's why the information is not available to everybody. You think they want everybody to know about these systems in place? That's why they make it hard for you to get the information. So you got to put yourself in the environment, take advantage of the environment. Who would say me and Christian gonna be around? That's what I tell people all the time.
Well, I don't
They
know
want to
where this.
call.
Well, because it sounds like look. Are you scared? Oh, here we got this line recently. Are you scamming? Because why wouldn't you be around? Well, see, in business, ladies and gentlemen, do you need us to go through the greats? See, we're part of the greats. We're gonna flip. The greats flip. The greats go from one business to the next business, and they're successful in each one because they put all their efforts into it. He went hard into trading. He didn't do that when he was in his 20s. At 20, he flipped out of job into franchise into trading. It's flip. Why? Why would you leave a business if it's making money? Because I'm making more doing this in less time. The goal is to be a part of the 1%, to be an investor. It's not to be a slave to a business. And you got to manage people. Oh, well, I own a restaurant. When the chef doesn't show up, I got to be the chef. But I thought I was the owner. I thought I could just make money of it. Okay, cool. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to be subject to running the McDonald's? And guess what? I've had a friend. He still worked at the McDonald's. His family owned the McDonald's. You have to go to Hamburger University as the owner of the McDonald's. There's no, oh, I'm just going to open up a McDonald's and I'm never going to have to go to nothing. I just spend $1 million and that's the way it works. Because they're going to catch you with the franchise talk. Oh, no. It doesn't work that way. They got Hamburger University. Let's not get started on a Chick-fil-A franchise. Me and Cornell will never invest in a Chick-fil-A franchise. How can someone tell you you have to own one company or you can only do this one company? Sounds like a job,
Yeah,
right?
that's crazy.
That's why his business runs really well, because he's in control of people really well. Fair, but not us. So that's why we deal with the multifamily entity. It allows you to own nothing, control everything. So somebody, when they finally do want to say some silliness like that, well, let's know about your holdings. Guess what? We don't own anything, so we have no holdings. Yeah, we still want one of your franchises. That's the benefit of own nothing, control everything. So thank you all for tuning in live, listen, replay. We've been going for a while. I don't know what you got going on. I know I got a roll, but I do appreciate you all for tuning in, and definitely we look forward to connecting with you all through Christian at Trust Christian. You all know how the game goes. Cornell did the last webinar for trading because it was a request. If we get enough inquiries, I don't know if he'll do it again. I don't know, but it's been a ton of inquiries even for the last one. It's like, how do you guys keep missing it? You listen to the radio show; it comes on so often. And but nevertheless, we do appreciate you all. And there are people in the chat right now. We know who's in the chat. People say thank you. People say things are changing their lives. Like we say, the best part about the private is we don't need the public accolades. So for all you all that feel like we need to have some public platform that says and displays our greatness, we'll let the money talk. We'll let the balance sheet talk for us. We'll let our families talk for us. We know when to talk. It's in the boardrooms. It's going to get
And you should be
OPM.
in it. You should be in the environment or working towards getting in the environment with us. And guess what? That's how we move in our environment. We around other people in the environment, they moving with us. Opportunities come up all the time. Opportunities y'all probably will never even get a chance. Like my hotel deal, that would never happen for you. I done had people tell me going through the stuff they put out in the public with money, you can't even get some of them hotel deals unless you structure it a certain way and move accordingly a certain way. That come from, I said, getting in the environment and learning some things.
Yeah.
So stop buying everything you see on the internet and following people that really just showing you they partying all the time and a lifestyle. Man, them folks ain't living like that. Why they think they doing so many videos? Then I bet you money when you click on it, it's an automated system taking your information and selling you some little pre-recorded course and getting your money. And y'all eat it up and pay it all the time. Then you say you ain't got no money. But you won't sit here and listen to us and say, go educate, go to the library. Hey, I want to know about real estate, but I ain't got no money. Go to the library. The book's free.
Yeah. It's just it's time for people. We all have a gut check every day. One of the things we heard Eric Thomas say, what do you do? I guess as a routine, he said really the main thing is just self assessment. And that's one of the things I like about the 1% challenge that you go through right now. It may not be asking about self assessment. There is a self assessment there, but it is something that allows you to self assess maybe every 30 days. I know he even talked about that doing it every week. But when you really hear a lot of successful people, they're actually doing the most self assessment. They have someone around them, such as a Cornell. We talk about that. Like Cornell say, you gotta have somebody that can say tighten up to you. This is where you can tighten up. Put the pressure here. Or hey, let's get someone around you that can relieve that pressure there. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm stressed out. I'm stressed out. I'm stressed out." But you're stressed out because you're not building a team to insulate your weaknesses. Your weaknesses are what cause you pain. Your strengths are what cause you joy. So let's emphasize and focus more on the strengths. And we really do make it a point to do that. I think I've always been able to make it a point to do that. But if you're questioning whether you are going to be able to do it by yourself, clearly look how your results are faring. And if you are doing well by yourself, obviously, we appreciate you all. You're the unique ones, but it's rare. It's rare. Because we're talking about multifamily people having to create multifamily entity investing. That's not the same as, oh, just doing it one family. It's multiple families. And we just wanted to address a lot of you all wanting to do something together and not knowing the mindset of the conversations. And you say, well, how do I start? Maybe you get them to listen to this recording so they can say, okay, this is the mindset we need to have. We need to be able to have a board meeting. We need to identify who's going to be the CEO, who's going to be the COO, who's going to be the secretary, who's going to be the treasurer, who's going to be in charge of the accounting department, who's going to be in charge of the what do they call it? Well, just the legal team. Who we gonna have as a legal team? Who can we go to? This is business, ladies and gentlemen. When you're talking about doing business, whether it's even if it's more than $1,000, you're still doing something that's worthwhile. $10,000 is worthwhile. 100K is worthwhile. Anything more than that is worthwhile. You know, and we believe and know that you would do whatever you want to do is worthwhile. It doesn't have to be even in real estate. It's just multifamily entity. It's entity. It's based off if you're using the general partnership, if you're using the LLC, if you're using the S corp C corp. Are you dealing with people that are in the same style of structures as you? Because people that are in certain structures, they only deal with certain people in certain structures. Why? Because there are certain people that know how to say, I don't want a liability. Own nothing, control everything. And they deal with people that are not gonna be liabilities. And if they are, they eliminate them. Liability is like what do they call that? Insurance. Well, look, something happened the other day where Cornell got he made a phone call to a partner. He said, "Oh man, I thought of something." I was like, "Man, we need to get the insurance on that partner, right?"
Yeah,
It's that
we
simple.
talked about that.
It's just that simple. Oh, y'all talked about that,
Oh yeah, we. They say you got to do. Hey, you got to have a hard conversation with the easy conversation,
right?
and it ain't really hard if you move with the right people. So it wasn't a hard conversation. Like, yeah, we do need to get that. That's protecting the family. That's protecting everybody's family.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Hey, we appreciate all the love, Lewis, Angela, Fred, Cassandra, Amir, Rick. We got so many people in the chat. Thank you all for tuning in live. Charles, Angela, MV Efficiency. We appreciate you all. Feel free, like I say, we do these conversations really because these conversations we have because we do some stuff and we just make it a point to we have. I'm willing to at least say, hey, let's do something, and we get a few people like Cornell that says, hey, we can talk about it in the public, and we appreciate that. Just to kind of really share with you all the emphasis of if you are thinking about doing this and you don't really have any content or where to start, we always want to give the where to start, but we do like doing the how tos and when you're in it, how do you deal with it when you're in it? How do you work with other people? How do you
But
who's in charge?
before we get off here, I'm gonna tell you the same thing my mentor told me. It gets to the point where you got to stop talking about it. So even though you might go watch these videos or whatever, you got to get started. That's the only way I got started. And anybody around me to this day will tell you that was the best decision I ever made. People thought I was crazy when I left that type of money. But if I didn't have somebody tough on me to tell me, hey, stop talking and go do it, or I'm not gonna share with you no more. Even when people talk to me, that's kind of how I talk to them. Like, I'm not gonna let you make the excuse because you're talking to somebody that's been through all that. So we got to stop coming on here and not doing that. Whether you're gonna trade or trust, you got to make an effort to do something, or you're gonna be stuck in the same spot you're in. That's how it was told to me, and to this day, I keep that in mind. So that's why we not lazy. We move on to the next thing. We build, we keep building. Guess what? Don't matter when my business is doing slow. I'm still good. I don't overlive. But guess what? I can live how I want to live because I go out and I grow my business. I grow my trust. So I ain't got to sacrifice. Guess what? I got to trade. I ain't got to touch my business.
Yeah. Well, thank you,
We got to get
Cornell.
started.
Appreciate you for tuning in live. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Feel free to check us out, Christian at trustchristian.com for trustee training. If you want to get in contact with Cornell, Christian at trustchristian.com. We'll shoot you over his details. Peace and blessings.